Imagine this. You step into Las Vegas at midnight, neon lights flashing, strangers cheering, and within just 5 minutes, you're legally married. No questions, no waiting. But what if I told you that behind the quick, I do lies, scandals, secrets, and even ghost stories that will send shivers down your spine? Tonight, we uncover the unbelievable truth about Las Vegas weddings, the side no one dares to tell. The Sin City wedding mystery. Las Vegas, Nevada, a city glowing with neon lights, where every hour is midnight, and every dream, no matter how wild, can be turned into reality. Most travelers come here for casinos, shows, and nightlife. But hidden behind the glamour is another tradition, one that feels almost too bizarre to be true: the quick-fire Las Vegas wedding. What if I told you that beneath the glittering chapels and Elvis impersonators lies a story stranger than fiction? One that mixes love, law, danger, and unbelievable coincidences. The beginning: why Las Vegas became the wedding capital. It all started in the 1930s. While the rest of the United States struggled with complicated marriage laws, waiting periods, blood tests, endless paperwork, Nevada decided to do the opposite. Las Vegas, already famous for legal gambling and 24-hour alcohol sales, saw an opportunity. Why not make marriage just as easy? So they did. No waiting period, no blood tests, just an ID, a small fee, and a signature. Within minutes, two strangers or two lovers could legally become husband and wife. And from that moment, Las Vegas became more than a city of chance. It became the city of eternal bonds, or sometimes, eternal regrets. The strange case of the midnight couple. One of the strangest and true stories took place in the early 1960s. A young couple drove from California after a fight with their parents, determined to marry against all odds. At exactly 2:30 a.m., they stumbled into a chapel, drunk, angry, and yet deeply in love. The minister, half asleep, still signed their marriage certificate. The whole process took less than 10 minutes. Here's the twist. The next morning, they sobered up, terrified by what they had done. They rushed to annul the marriage only to discover something shocking. By Nevada law, what they had signed was binding. They were legally tied together whether they wanted it or not. That case made national headlines and cemented Las Vegas's reputation as a place where one reckless night could turn into a lifetime contract. Elvis and the Chapel of Curiosities. When Elvis Presley married Priscilla in Las Vegas in 1967, the city's wedding industry exploded. Suddenly, themed weddings became a booming business. Today, more than 70,000 couples tie the knot in Las Vegas every year, often under the watchful eyes of an Elvis impersonator, a zombie priest, or even inside a drive-thru. Yes, you heard that right. A drive-thru wedding. Imagine pulling up in your car, rolling down the window, and within 5 minutes you're husband and wife. It sounds like a comedy sketch, but it's 100% real. But what's truly bizarre is how far some people have taken this freedom. The celebrity scandals. Las Vegas weddings have seen everything, from passionate declarations to complete disasters. Britney Spears famously married her childhood friend in Las Vegas in 2004 and filed for an annulment 55 hours later. Actor Nicolas Cage married Erica Koike in 2019, only to seek annulment 4 days later, claiming he was too drunk to understand his actions. But the most haunting story? The marriage of rock legend Axl Rose and Erin Everly. What began as a spontaneous Vegas ceremony in 1990 turned into one of the most toxic, violent unions in rock history. Proof that what starts in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. The secret behind the speed. Why is it so easy to marry in Las Vegas? Because Nevada officials know that speed is profit. Every wedding generates revenue, marriage licenses, chapel fees, hotel bookings, even themed costumes. On average, the city makes tens of millions of dollars each year from weddings alone. But there's a darker truth. Some argue that this system was designed not just for romance but for secrecy. For decades, soldiers, celebrities, and even criminals used Las Vegas weddings to hide relationships from the press, or from their enemies. It's no coincidence that mobsters once dominated Las Vegas. Some mob bosses married here under fake names, using the lax rules to their advantage. Historians whisper that behind certain glittering chapels were rooms where deals were struck, not about love, but about power. The Chapel of 24 Hours. One of the strangest chapels still operating today is open all day, every day, no exceptions. Legend has it that one night in the 1970s, a couple demanded to be married at 4 a.m. because they believed if they didn't marry before sunrise, a curse would follow them. The minister agreed, and from that night forward, the chapel promised to never close. What's eerie is that this superstition stuck. To this day, couples show up at odd hours, convinced that their marriage must begin at a very specific time to bring luck. Is it coincidence? Or something more? The unbelievable coincidences. Here's a fact that shocks most people. Many Las Vegas chapels keep records of every marriage, and sometimes strange patterns appear. In one chapel, 3 couples over the course of 20 years accidentally signed their license at exactly 11:11 p.m. All of them later reported unusually lucky streaks in casinos. Another story tells of 2 tourists from different countries who met in line for a license, jokingly agreed to marry as a prank, and are still together 40 years later. Even eerier, a famous case in the 1990s revealed 2 couples who got married in Vegas on the same day, only to later discover they were distant relatives. Coincidence? Or destiny? The Ghost Bride of Fremont Street. Not every story is glamorous. Some carry an unsettling chill. Locals whisper about the Ghost Bride of Fremont Street. The tale says that in the 1940s, a young woman came to Las Vegas to marry her fiancé, a soldier returning from war. He never arrived. Heartbroken, she wandered the streets in her wedding dress until she was struck by a car. To this day, some late-night wanderers claim they've seen a pale woman in a torn bridal gown drifting past neon signs. And here's the strange part. Some tourists who married in Vegas report that they saw her the night before their ceremony. Whether it's myth or reality, the story adds a chilling edge to the city of fast love. The truth behind the glamour. So what is marriage in Las Vegas, really? It's fast. It's legal. It's sometimes reckless. And it's filled with stories too strange to ignore. For some, it's a dream, a night of romance, sealed forever. For others, it's a nightmare that lasts longer than the hangover. But what makes it fascinating is this. In no other place on earth do love, law, money, and mystery collide so powerfully. Every wedding is a gamble, just like every spin of the roulette wheel. And maybe that's why Las Vegas is still the wedding capital of the world. Because deep down, love itself is the greatest gamble of all. Closing thought. Next time you see a flashing neon sign that reads, Wedding Chapel open 24 hours. Remember, behind that door may lie a story of passion, scandal, luck, or even ghosts. Because in Las Vegas, weddings aren't just ceremonies. They're mysteries waiting to be told.